What's up, buttercups? Oh my god, that sounds so cringe. Whatever. I'm Jay. I have way too many hobbies, and this is my first video. I am also recording this with my headphones. I am so sorry about the audio. I hope you stick around. I'm 14 years old. I like doing all sorts of creative stuff, basically all creative stuff, with exception of maybe poetry or sculpting or whatever, and some other niche things, but I'd like to try them, and that's the point of this channel's content. Anyway, I'm going to college next year. Yeah, that's a thing. In the Netherlands, you can do that at 15. You can't study like biology or math or science, but you can study like art majors, like animation, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna need your help because straight out of college, when I'm 19, I want to start my own indie animation studio because I fucking want to. Also because I have both autism and ADHD, and I don't think I can survive a 9-to-5 that isn't just my hobbies monetized. And well, you need money for that. And plus, if I have that little bit of fame going, I can launch a Kickstarter for my own show, an animated show, with relative confidence that it's gonna get funded. It's always been my dream to share stories. If I want to share stories, I should probably study writing instead of animation, but whatever. It's been my dream since I was like 6 to be some kind of storyteller. I originally wanted to be an author before I discovered how cool it would be to have my own show. But speaking of being an author, I am actually writing a book right now because animation is expensive. It's more like practice for the big stories I'm going to tell through animation, but it's still somewhat of a passion project. It's an urban fantasy, mystery, and or action about 4 magical beings called freaks being hired to kill the president. Yeah, it's a little crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna start drawing the actual characters now because I guess you must be bored to shit right now of me yapping. This is Tzyla. Tzyla. She's 18. The main character, there are 4 main characters, but she's like the main character. As I said, she is a fantasy species called a freak, living in a city, a human city called Apex City, where humans want all the freaks dead because of their religion. There are multiple hiding places hidden down in the depths of Apex City. Tzyla lives in, as far as she knows, the biggest, a half underground harbor called Maris. I think that's a pretty cool name, along with Apex City. I am so proud of that name for a city. It's also where a mafia lies called the Red Rain, led by a woman called Phoebe. A bit of a legend amongst the freaks, known for her ability to own someone's essence, quote unquote. She can own souls, that's basically it. I just didn't want to call it souls, because I've not figured out how that really works yet. Every freak has a unique skill set. Every freak is different from another, but they all mostly have a larger amount of weaknesses. They're supposed to be these unnatural beings. That's why the humans want to Loki genocide them. Yay, murder. Tzyla's skill set includes depression, a tail, some adorable floppy ears, some super duper secret stuff even she doesn't understand. But in terms of weaknesses, she has kleptomania. Of course, that's not necessarily a freak thing. She still has it. And you would originally think these extra arms are useful, but they're always in that position. And if she wants to move them to hide them under her cloak and blend in with humans, it's gonna hurt a lot. And she can't keep it up for long. However, her one advantage is that she's tall as fuck. She's 7'8", and she looks pretty intimidating when she needs to because she has a very, very serious resting bitch face. Tila is very much miserable, a couple days away from giving up on anything, if you know what I mean, until she's hired by Phoebe to do something for her, seemingly out of nowhere. That's where I'm going to keep it for now. I don't really have her personality nailed down, but for now, it's basically just clinical depression. I really struggle writing main characters because they have to be relatable to the target audience, but I don't want Tila to have any basic personality. Some good main characters with strong personalities would be, to name a few, Luce from The Owl House, Dipper from Gravity Falls, Uzi from Murder Drones, and Blitz from Hell of a Boss. God, Blitz is so well written. Yes, I am 14. Shut the fuck up. That's also a little layout of my favorite fandoms. If you like any of those, maybe subscribe. My own stories aren't the only thing I'm going to talk about.
Hola. Helped me. I can be around people now. I hate it, but I can do it without vomiting.
Anyway, next. This is Cyrus. I promise it's gonna get better from here. Scylla is my least fleshed out character because I struggle writing main characters so much. Cyrus is one of the 4 people hired by Phoebe. If you didn't already put 2 and 2 together, the group of main characters is the guys hired by Phoebe. He got amnesia when he was 8, so he does not remember anything before that part. He's about 17, he thinks. He's always been a criminal, like basically every other freak. It's hard to find non-criminal jobs when basically every human wants you dead. But he was particularly ambitious with his crime. He's been a fugitive since he was 15, like a fugitive so quote-unquote famous. Basically every bounty hunter is after him. Eventually he became sick of running and found protection in an unexpected place, the Red Rain. He ended up selling his essence to Phoebe, and now he's just a pawn in her game. A powerful one, but a pawn. You see, Cyrus was always a very sought-after mercenary because his only weakness are his markings, making it impossible to blend in with humans. And I guess his missing eye, he has one eye. He was born with one eye and markings with a lot of other eyes. He can't see through the eyes on his markings. He can only see through his one eye. I based him off a skinwalker a little bit. At least those are his origins. Every eye on his markings represents a different form. And it switches out with his current eye as he shapeshifts. His markings always stay across every form. According to the human religion, all animals are evil, so there are no animals in Apex City except for spiders. Spiders and humans are the only species to exist in both this fantasy planet and Earth. You'll find out later why I put spiders in there, trust me. Cyrus only knows 2 of his forms by name, human and spider. All the others are species he does not know. Species on the mainland because Apex City is placed on an island. His human form is not his true form. His true form is a creepy black dog-like creature. Anyway, he does some mischievous tomfoolery for Phoebe on a daily basis. He does not like her at all, but his life is not actually all that bad compared to other freaks because of his powerful skill set. Phoebe wants to keep him alive, so he gets 1 meal a day and a decent bed in the Red Rain's headquarters, which sounds like luxury in a place like Maris. Anyway, I was gonna say more than that, but I can't think of anything, so that's it. I really love his design, even though the hair is kind of out of nowhere. I don't know, it looks cool.
Truth is, my living situation has been compromised. Maybe. So I just need a place to crash. Temporarily.
Anyway, on to Halo. Halo, Halo, like the thing that angels have above their heads. Halos are not actually a thing on this planet. It's just a name, but like it's just Halo. Okay, whatever. She is 12 years old, and yes, she kills people. Desperate measures. Okay. Her skill set is basically that she has an extremely elevated sense. Her upper antennae can feel things in the air, and she can perform echolocation with them. Her powers are based off a moth. If you didn't already tell, you probably didn't. It's like we're like 10% through the speed paint anyway. She also has night vision. However, she gets overstimulated extremely fast, especially by the sun. Not all freaks are this OP, by the way. It's just a coincidence. These guys are also overpowered, except Tilla, I guess. She still has that secret power that I haven't told you about yet though. Halo also has autism, so that's pretty handy. Sarcasm. And she constantly has verbal shutdowns triggered by her overstimulation and therefore autistic meltdowns. I want to say that she has selective mutism to make things a little more clear on why she can sometimes speak and sometimes not. But that is not the case. It's just autism. She just got overstimulated a lot and therefore gets verbal shutdowns a lot. When she was like 8, she discovered an ancient library with her powers and spent years studying it. But there's still so many books she hasn't read and secret tunnels and nooks she hasn't discovered. It'll probably take her till her 40s. She taught herself to read, and fun fact, she's the only person in the main character's squad who can actually read. It's just not a very important skill in a place like Maris. She mostly steals her food during the night instead of getting a job, but she is skilled in ranged combat. Her weapons of choice are a crossbow and some throwing knives. If you're wondering how she got them, she stole them from the Red Rain. Considering they have the monopoly on weapons in Maris, that's not important to the plot at all. It's just a fun fact. She rarely leaves the library, except if she's hungry. It's very much her safe space, considering there's no lights, no wind, and bookshelves are naturally sound absorbent. And she actually has 4 fingers on each end. That's not an art style thing. She canonically has 8 fingers instead of 10. Halo is probably the most fleshed out of my characters. I don't know why, because she's actually not my favorite of the cast. The next one is.
There it is! That's what it will sound like when one of you spots it.
This is Spider. My baby. Believe it or not, she's actually human. She was born as the 8th child in a very large human family and grew up with 12 siblings. Apex City has a huge class divide. There are 31 official classes, or circles, as they call them. The freaks consider themselves the secret 32nd circle. Anyway, Spider came from a 30th circle family who lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 13 children. The 31st circle is the homeless, by the way. Anyway, Spider's life was a living hell. There were beds everywhere and she was barely fed, and her parents were also not the best people, if you know what I mean. So she just ran away when she was 12. She lived on the streets for a month or two until she decided that even though it was better than at home, it still sucked. And eventually she found herself in Maris and saw the Red Rain robbing a guy who failed to pay on time. Phoebe saw her hiding around the corner, looking at the things going on, and thought she was just the most beautiful little girl ever. She asked if she wanted to help, and Spider climbed up the chimney, of which she was the only one that could fit through, and found the secret savings of the guy. Spider felt at home for the first time in her life. Now she's Phoebe's unofficial adopted daughter. Phoebe shows off her daughter's beauty at any given moment. By freaks, humans are seen as beautiful, unflawed, and free. Spider is also a bit of a legend in Maris, and she's the only one of the Red Rain who hasn't sold their essence to Phoebe, because Phoebe genuinely likes her. Spider isn't her real name. She changed it when she joined the Red Rain, and it's a little bit of an homage to her origin of climbing up a chimney, but also because a mafia is commonly associated with a web, and therefore, well, webs are associated with spiders and stuff. Even though of her past, Spider is very much an asshole. The first time Zilla meets her, she immediately hates her for good reason. They hate each other for good reason. Honestly, because she thinks she's better than everyone else and generally not socialized very well. Even though that, she's still very cool. I try to give her a rock star girlfriend aesthetic, which didn't work very well, but I'll figure it out when I inevitably redesign my characters again, because I refuse to do concept art. I'm too lazy for that shit. That's Spider. Yeah, she re-dyes her hair twice a month, but this red is going to be kind of iconic for the book. Also, she always wears her sword earring. Always. You would expect there to be some emotional backstory behind it, but in reality, she just really likes it. She stole it from a market stall when she was 14 and was like, wow, this shit cool as fuck.
I told you you could trust me, and I'm not gonna let you down. Those are just rainbow sprinkles.
That's about it for now. I am currently still working on outlining the book. I haven't even started on first draft yet. I am a slow writer. I've been working on this book for about a year, but I revamped it twice, so can you blame me? I am definitely going to work on it harder now that the concept is out there and in the vast web of the internet. Hopefully it'll be done next year, maybe? Maybe when I'm a little bit into college already, who knows. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to help the channel grow, you can like the video, maybe even subscribe. This lets YouTube know that for some reason an actual human being liked this video, and they'll show it to other human beings and my channel can grow. Also, I'm gonna clear this up real quick. If you are homophobic, transphobic, racist, sexist, or any other variant of asshole, get the fuck out of here. Turn off your device to go look in a mirror and contemplate life or something. Thank you guys so much for listening to me yap. I really hope this video does well. I've been overthinking it on making it since I was 12, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you don't, I hope I made it better. Bye, buttercups. Goodbye.